YouTube, what's happening? Zay Learns in full effect. First of all, I'd like to thank everybody who continue to support the channel. I really appreciate it. I'm just going to get right to it. Avoid comfortability as much as possible. In this lifetime, especially as men, we are the provider. We're here to create things and make things happen. In order to do that, we have to be comfortable at being uncomfortable. We have to take risks. We gotta make stuff happen. And when we do that, we create this level of confidence for ourselves, and it creates interest and intrigue. And it's not easy. It's not easy to do that. It requires work. It requires effort. And there's times where things get repetitive and you feel like you may not be going nowhere, but actually you're going somewhere. It's actually better to be doing something and being active, no matter how many small steps that you take, than not doing anything at all. So just being able to stay active and do something, and whatever sparks your interest, continue to push forward and do that. Because where there's smoke, there's fire. And I mean that in a positive way, because once you start doing something that not only that you're passionate about, but sparks your interest, that hobby can turn into a full-time business, a full-time that can replace your 9-to-5 job. You just never know, whatever that may be. Or maybe you're passionate about the 9-to-5 job that you're in, but at least do something. At least find a skill that you're passionate about, and stay away. Like I said, I'm not gonna tell you what to do with your life, because you do what you do. Everybody on this earth has free will. But what I'm saying, as for me and what's helped me, is realizing that be comfortable at being uncomfortable. Try a new skill. Try a new hobby. Get in a pattern of going to the gym each and every day. Waking up early. Watching your eating habits. Making sure that you have a proper diet and being disciplined with that diet. Taking walks. Learning new trades and new skills that's going to help you monetize yourself, because the world is not going to give you anything. The world's not going to give you nothing. They give money to the people that they find value in, that's going to help them. So if you're expecting some type of handout from someone, it's not going to happen. Usually the money goes to the people who put in the most work. And yes, there are times that, life is unfair. That's true. Life is unfair. And there are some people who are able to get money and find ways to get money and don't put in the work. Maybe some that have wealthy family members that they are able to get the money from them. But just because they have those opportunities doesn't mean that they're going to be able to take advantage of it if they didn't practice work. If everything has been handed to certain individuals, they're going to squander it because they didn't have the foundation to continue to be successful. However, somebody who didn't get a lot of opportunities, who put in the work and has been preparing themselves, and it may take longer for them to get those opportunities, but once they get it, they're prepared for it, and they're ready for it. And I'm holding myself accountable as well, because there are times where it's like, dang, man, I ain't getting no real opportunities. This freaking sucks. And then at times, I would be harping, because it's like, God dang, man, like, when is it going to be my time to shine? But when I do that, and I'm always questioning, that energy is I'm putting my energy away from what's really important, is that focus on the skill and focusing on the craft and building our craft and growing it. I'm passionate about. I love to bake peach cobbler. I like to do that. I'm very interested in the entrepreneurship journey, and there's a lot of stuff that happened in my life that was completely out of my control that turned things upside down for me. It kind of put me back at square one. So I started to focus on YouTube here and there. I dabbled in it and I had a 9-to-5 job, but I just didn't really fully commit to it. It's not that I was just making excuses. It's just I was still trying to figure out what my purpose is after, stuff hit the fan. So by just consistently creating videos, creating content, I started to get more passionate about not just video editing, but content creation and creating content that is going to be able to help people out there based on my experience and what I've gone through. And what I started doing was focusing on areas of my life that was challenging and other people who may have a difficulty with, and being able to help them. And that was semen retention and understanding how difficult it was. Even through all these challenges and trials and tribulations, I would, still be on that retention journey. And it really, it helped me tell my story to others and realize that, like I'm a living testament of being able to go through the storm and be able to help others out who may feel like giving up, who may seem like there isn't a light at the end of the tunnel, who are still trying to figure things out. What I say to that is just continue to keep taking steps forward, even if they're small steps, and never give up. Never give up on your passions. Never give up on your dreams. However, there are times where you need to have money. You need to be able to provide for yourself. You need to be able to help family out. And maybe if you have kids, you got to be able to provide, and that requires you to eat some humble pie and take jobs that you may not necessarily take in order for you to provide. And that's the nature of being a man. And I definitely understand that it's important to realize that we're not always going to get what we want, but at the same time, we put in the effort and we put in the work and we put in the time, and we're mindful and stay focused on what we want to do and what we're called to do, then we can get better results and better options. And while during this time, you have to be dependent on whether somebody approves of what you're doing or accept you and your skill set. The work that you put in, the time, the effort, it will speak for itself. Instead of you knocking on somebody's door to get an opportunity or promotion, they're going to be knocking on your door based on your skill set and the amount of work that you put in the time. But this key word is it's just a matter of time. And sometimes it takes longer than expected. But just continue to push forward and put in the work. Even at times you may not feel like doing the work. And sometimes the feelings, they lie to you. Feelings and thoughts lie to you. And we can't get caught up in our feelings. We can't get caught up in our thoughts, because it's a trick. It's a trick of the enemy to try to stop us from doing what we're called to do. So don't allow anything to stop you from doing what you're called to do, including yourself, your own thoughts and your own feelings, because they, especially in today's world and with the inflation, with the pandemic, with everything, our feelings and thoughts can betray us. You know, we gotta stay prayed up. We gotta keep the faith and continue to stay strong and continue to, especially as men, continue to be on our grind and continue to focus. So that's all I have for you guys today. I know this is a little bit more serious video. You know, like even for myself, I'm going through it. You know, family stuff. Health issues, and then having to step away from work in order for me to focus on those family issues, but still be able to find ways to create money so I can take care of my own place. And it's been a challenge, but while in that challenge, there's this book, that I'm reading. It's about real hard times create strong men. And it's if you read that book, or it's even on Audible, it'll change your perspective. It is, I wouldn't say viewers' discretion is advised, but listening discretion is advised. It gives you the cutthroat, hard reality of us as men and what we have to do, and work is not, it's not pretty, it's not luxurious, but that's what we do as men to provide for ourselves and our families. And at times we're the last to eat, but we got to make sure everybody else is eating before we eat, and that's what happens when you're a leader. So I highly suggest you read that book. It's called "Hard Times Create Strong Men." So I highly suggest a lot of the men, even women, if they're interested, or women want to provide that book to their to their men. It's a great book. It's a great read. But that's all I have for today. Thank you guys for your continued support. Hope we continue to grow this channel. Much love. Zay Learns out.